Beautiful people. A very beautiful morning, beautiful afternoon, and beautiful evening to every one of you. How are we all doing, guys? I know we're doing amazing, all right. So, in today's video, I want to talk about factors those on Tier 2 visa or those on skilled worker visa must consider before terminating their contract. Someone might say, why do people terminate their contract? A lot of people terminate their contract because when they come into the UK, they live in such an expensive area where the cost of living is high, the cost of accommodation is high, and at the end of the day, they are working and they are struggling to feed. They are working and they are not having any savings. So a lot of times this set of people, this set of health workers decide to terminate their contracts and go to other parts in the United Kingdom where the cost of living, the cost of accommodation is very, very cheap. Yes. Secondly, a lot of people terminate their contract because probably in the location where they were in band 5 or they were in a lower cadre, and then they get another role. Probably they get a band 6 role, a band 7 role, a band 8 role, or probably they get an advanced clinical practitioner role, and then the location where they get it is different from the location where they are. So that can make them also relocate. But in today's video, I want to tell you factors you must consider before terminating your contract. It is so important because if you don't consider these factors, it may affect you. All right, guys. So, and also a lot of people terminate their contract because they have been in the care home and they are fed up with the care home. They want to go to the NHS. A lot of people terminate their contract because they have been in the NHS, they are fed up with the NHS, and they want to go to the care home. All right. So in today's video, we are going to be talking about factors you must consider before terminating your contracts. You don't want to miss this video. It is loaded. So if you're meeting me for the very first time, my name is Violet Okolocha. I'm a registered nurse. I live and I practice here in the UK. And on this channel, I share everything you need to pass your OSCE exam and every positive information that can help you. If you have not subscribed to my channel, please subscribe to my channel, like this video, and share this video with other of your friends and colleagues. So come with me, guys, and let's get started. So number one, the first thing you must consider before terminating your contract is the terms and condition of your contract. Now, may I say this to you, the only reason you are in the UK, if you are on Tier 2 visa, or the only reason that is keeping you in the UK is your Tier 2 visa or your skilled worker visa. So if anything happens or your employer withdraws their COS or you terminate your contract and you don't have a new job to give you a new COS, you can't be in the UK. Yes, the reason I'm in the UK is because of my work visa. If my work visa is no longer useful or is no longer in existence, then I can't be in the UK. So you should know that your work visa or your Tier 2 visa or your skilled worker visa is the only reason or the reason keeping you in the UK. All right, so you have to take it seriously. Number one point, before you terminate your contract, you must look at the terms and condition of your work contract. Take for instance, in my own work contract, if I terminate my contract before 2 years, I am going to pay back to my trust almost £3,000. So go to your letter of employment and go through the terms and condition of your employment. It is important. And when you are going through the terms and conditions of your employment, please, I beg you, pay proper attention to the terms and conditions of your contract. Read it very well. Some contracts will tell you if you are leaving before 3 years, you pay them their OSCE training fee, you pay them their OSCE training, you pay them their COS, you pay them a lot of amount of money. So read through. Yes, but in my own contract, if I have stayed in the trust for 2 years and I decide to leave and I decide to terminate my contract, I don't have to pay back anything. So read your contract very well, your employment contract, and pay specific attention to the terms and condition of your work contract. Now, number two, this is important. Yes, I had somebody who terminated a contract with the hospital that brought her from our country. And when she did that, the new hospital that has employed her has not given her certificate of sponsorship. And she has gone ahead to terminate her contract. They didn't give her certificate of sponsorship, and she has gone ahead to terminate her contract. In fact, she resigned successfully. There was no, she paid the hospital, I think she paid the hospital 2,500. There was no certificate of sponsorship yet. She stayed 1 month, she stayed 2 months. By the third month, UK government was saying to her she has just 20 something days, I think 28 days more to leave the country if she doesn't get a new COS. Because according to her, she told me she didn't even know that when you terminate your contract and your certificate of sponsorship is no longer, the certificate of sponsorship has now been taken, or because when you terminate your contract, you can no longer use that certificate of sponsorship anymore. You can't stay in the UK more than 60 days. All right, you can stay in the UK more than 60 days. So she started looking for another job. She kept on calling them. Sorry, I've not received my COS. She said sometimes we are not even responding to our emails. So please, the second one, or the second point I'm saying now, is so important. You need another employer to guarantee your stay in the UK. So before you terminate your contract, make sure the new employment you are having, they have applied for a certificate of sponsorship for you. At least make sure you have gotten your COS before you resign, before you terminate your contract. Make sure you have gotten another COS from the people that have employed you. It is important. Let them give you the COS first before you resign from your workplace. Now, I like to say this: no matter how cruel they treated you in your workplace, no matter how aggressive they were to you, no matter how rude they were to you, when you are writing your resignation letter, please try to be very nice. Appreciate them, that because without them you wouldn't have had the knowledge you've had. Without them you wouldn't have been where you are now. So appreciate them. Don't give them a harsh resignation letter. Appreciate them for their efforts. Thank them because they were such a wonderful team. Remember, the world is a small place. So number three, before you terminate your contract, you should consider if you are still on a house contract. What do I mean by if you were still on a house contract? Now, if you rent a house in the UK, sometimes you may be on a 6 month contract, or you may be on a 1 year contract. So if you are on a 6 month contract or on a 1 year contract in your house, within that period of time, if you decide to leave the apartment, you will still be paying for the apartment until they get a new tenant for that apartment. Yes, if you decide to leave that apartment, you will still be paying for that apartment. You will even pay for them to even advertise the apartment. And until they get a new tenant to stay in that apartment, you will still be paying for that apartment, even though you are not living in that house. Yes, so you must consider all these things. The house I'm living, have I completed my contract? I remember when my first house I lived in the UK, when I moved out of that house stayed like 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, 5 months. Nobody took it. Now, imagine if I had not completed my contract in that house, or I have not completed my 6 months contract in that house. That means I'll be the one to be paying 1 month, 2 months. In fact, I was there up to like 5 months. I was passing and I was saying to my neighbors, somebody taking this apartment. And they said, nobody has taken the apartment yet. So you see why it is important for you to consider the house I'm living in. Have I completed my contract? Sometimes you sign 6 months contract, sometimes you sign 1 year contract. And after that, you can be paid monthly. You are not in any contract anymore. You are not in any obligation. If you choose to leave the apartment, you just write to them, and I think you give them a month's notice or 6 weeks notice depending on your agreement. Then you can leave the house. So please consider your work contract. Consider your house contract, because I've seen a lot. Some of my colleagues here, when they were 2 years here and they decided to move to other cheaper location, and then the house they were staying in, they were still paying their house rent. The agent was like, no, you still have 4 months contract with us. So if you're living until we get somebody to stay in that apartment, you still have to pay for it. And it's not like you pick money here in the UK. So you just have to consider that first. All right. And finally, it is the responsibility of the employer you are leaving, your employer you are resigning, the employer you are terminating their contract. It is their responsibility for them to give you a very important P45 form. P45 form is not the same thing as P60 form. P45 form is a form that shows that you have terminated your contract or your employment with that's your employer. And now you are now starting with another employer. Now, why is it important to get this P45 form? They will give it to you though, but just in case they don't give it to you, ask. It is important because if you don't get that P45 form, it may look to HMRC as if you are doing another job. And you know, the more the jobs you do in the UK, the more your tax. So you just have to get a P45 form. All right. So guys, thank you so much for watching. I will see you in my next video. And until I see you again, keep soaring higher. Keep passing your skills up. I love you all. And bye for now.